cards right now.
There you go.
So I'll have to, I'm married to a guy who has we actually talked about this on one of our episodes. He has a thing with hockey cards, and I collect hockey jerseys. So we literally have a bedroom just full of that stuff. And that's also where I record Chirping from the Box, which is interesting because we have these things called dogs. And if they bark at all, I'm sorry, because they're nuts. But you know how many times I've had to like stop recording because they start howling at the most random things?
One of mine is sitting down here, and he's
okay.
Not so
I have a dog, and she likes to make herself known, but she just wiggles around. She knows that she wants to like sabotage my stuff, so she just like starts shaking like crazy, and her like her collar goes crazy and makes noise. So she's really good at that. Or she'll just try to lick my face while I'm talking. It's great.
She just wants your attention, Joey.
She demands attention. She gets in these moods where like she will smack the phone out of my hand and get right in my face and start licking my face. It's interesting.
Luckily my guys are asleep right now, but you know, they might, if they hear a car or a squirrel or something, they'll go nuts. Or my cat, because I have a cat on top with the two dogs, so we'll see.
All right, so on to business. So we're each going to have 3 picks, and it could be any games this weekend, or it could just be any, doesn't have to be like the line. It could be over, under. It could be basically anything that you could bet. So let me start. Ashley, you start since you sound like you know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, shoot. Well, I already kind of spilled the beans on one of my picks. If you know anything about me, I'm usually not a biased person. It's because of that silly media training I have. But I am very confident that the West team is going to lose tomorrow because they have 4 Pitt players.
How is Pitt in the West?
Don't ask me, but I had to look up the roster, and it said all the Pitt players were in the West, and I don't understand. But so, yeah, it just makes no sense. But whoever has the Pitt players is going to lose tomorrow, and I'm very confident about that.
Okay.
Are we going around the horn, or am I?
Well, we'll see when we get. I'm guessing though there might be some game or something like that we're all picking. So if that's the case,
yeah.
then speak up. But what's your next one?
This is probably an obvious one, but I am not very confident that Pitt is going to beat Syracuse tomorrow at the Carrier Dome. I think they will, but I'm not confident about it because they could blow it in the last 2 minutes because that's what Pitt basketball does. But I'm a huge fan of Jeff Capel. So we'll see.
Okay. We need to talk about Pitt basketball because what Capel is doing right now, that dude he needs to win like the Nobel Prize or something like that. It is amazing what he's done with Pitt. Pitt basketball was so bad just a year ago. And for him in less than a year to I can't believe it. I know. I mean, Coach, don't you have season tickets to Pitt basketball?
Yeah, I do. I had him in the 80s. I had him as a high school student at the field house with the original Charter Zoo members. I had him up until Jabari Parker's freshman year, and then gave him up, and now we're back. Man, it's a whole different vibe from being at games the past couple years. It was bad. They didn't have the guys. That their 2 best players were their 2 worst leaders, in Artis and Young. You talk about 2 selfish dudes. Man, it was bad. Stallings was basically on cruise control, out watching minor league baseball and the Pirates more than, he was really recruiting. And look, the last straw was, when you could hear a pin drop in that game. I believe it was against Louisville when they were getting beat by a bazillion. And Stallings is just yelling and going crazy at the kids and acting like just a complete goof. I think that was the final straw for the boosters. You know, and to think that we were very close to getting Sean Miller, but like somehow pulls a rabbit out of her hat and gets Capel. Like you said, Joe, what he's done, you know, you just being familiar with recruiting, what he's done is almost impossible, you know, in this short amount of time. Like, I know people say, oh, you know, it's only because he promised all three of these freshmen that they were going to start. Well, I mean,
so what?
I got newsflash for you. Like, that's a major part of kids' decisions in the recruiting process, is how much they're going to play and when can they play.
It's the vibe and environment and everything under Stallings was just complete. They were just totally defeated. No, there was no excitement at all. It was just pathetic. There was, I mean, nobody went to the game.
Funeral in those home games.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, he didn't even try to bring energy to the team. Like, we make fun of Dixon all the time, but at least, like, Dixon brought energy in his own weird way. I mean, granted, they lost all the big games, but still. Kevin Stallings, you just kind of look to him and you're like, what are you doing here? And it's sad.
Listen,
it's sad when the Oakland Zoo can't get behind a coach. And I mean, we as Pitt alumni, you know, we've been through a lot of crap, but that was bad.
I mean, when your boss comes in and tells you, look, you have 2 weeks to find a new job or you're going to get fired, you know you shouldn't be bringing this guy in to run your program.
Right.
But, you know, he's buddy with the AD, and here we are. But, I mean, maybe that's actually might be a godsend, because we maybe wouldn't have got Capel.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel. I think they had to go to rock bottom in order to get someone like Capel.
And you guards are good, man. They're good.
You got to hand it to Heather. Like, I mean, and that's the thing. You mentioned, Coach, that they almost got Sean Miller. So they fire Stallings. Everybody's happy, but they're like, okay, what's the plan now? Who are we going to get? It's like, oh, I know, Sean Miller. And Sean Miller is like.
No, look, listen, I'm telling you, they had a deal with Sean Miller in place, but people got cold feet. Like, the chancellor got cold feet, got cold feet at the last
because Sean Miller was under investigation.
Exactly.
Yes, the whole investigation.
They had a deal.
Yeah.
So
overnight it fell apart. Like, I think it was like a Saturday into Sunday, or a Friday into a Saturday.
So you're saying that thing that Richie Walsh said, oh, Sean Miller is here, he's about to sign, and everybody made fun of them. So that was actually legit?
This time it was legit.
Wow. So, yeah. I mean, you could not get a more perfect guy than Capel. He is just working. He's just a miracle worker right now. And
you know how I think of Capel is, I think Jeff Capel is what Narduzzi is supposed to be.
Oh, that's so true. That's exactly it. He was supposed to be like the it guy that like the up and coming dude that's supposed to, you know, light the world on fire. And Narduzzi hasn't done crap.
I don't know about that. I think it's kind of, you know, Narduzzi was, you know, Michigan State was kind of hot back then and in the title competition, and you know he was kind of riding that D'Antonio wave. But like Capel's, like he's done it before. You know, like he's been a head coach. And he just, honestly, he's under Coach K. I mean, you know, so I think it's a little different as opposed to up and coming. I think he's been there, but
it's a perfect situation, because it's not like this is his first head coaching job and he's not going to know what to do. It's like he already went through that, you know, experience thing of being a head coach, so he doesn't need to worry about that. But
right. It's so well, and the thing is, someone like Coach K is your mentor. I mean, money can't buy that. I mean, that's arguably the best mentor you can have in college basketball.
Now you got to worry though, like in the back of your mind, that after this, you know, McGowan's and Xavier Johnson, after they're gone, is he going to go to Duke? Like, is that the successor? Is that what Coach K? Is that why he's here? Coach K pretty much said, look, you know, you go, you show you can win in the ACC, and then
I'm
moving that
fine
guy
with
up.
that. I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with him being the successor to Krzyzewski whenever the hell he retires. He'll probably outlive us all anyway. But
when he dies, if
when he
he ever
dies,
I still don't think
basically.
Capel's
Yeah.
the guy, even though some people do. I think that's more of like a Wojciechowski or a Tommy Amaker type, or the
Could
guy
be.
from Northwestern.
Could be. But if Capel leaves in like 3 or 4 years or 5 years or whatever, and the program is awesome and they're doing fine, I'm fine with him leaving. And like, because unfortunately that's what Pitt is. Pitt is a stepping stone to a job that somebody really wants. So
You never know. You never know. Maybe he stays longer than anybody thinks.
could be.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the ride right now. I'm just enjoying the fact that they are not winless in the ACC.
Exactly. I was expecting maybe 13, 14 wins all year. Maybe 1 or 2 wins in the ACC. That's it. And I mean, now I'm like greedy. I'm like, hey, let's try to make the tournament.
I'm not going that far yet, but a winning record would be so nice.
Yes, I love it.
Yes,
All right.
let's go.
So, who is your third pick, Ashley? Now, how confident are you in the Pitt Syracuse thing?
Not very confident because it is Pitt. Pitt has a great track record against Syracuse historically, especially at the Dome. But this is still Pitt at the end of the day, and
they call it pitting for a reason.
Exactly. Well, and the thing is, every Pitt sport pits. It's not just basketball. It's not just football. They're all guilty of it. My third one, I've been going back and forth. I'm like, do I want to go with the NFL this weekend? Do I want to go with one of the hockey games? I'm admittedly not a big NBA girl. I'm one of those people who doesn't get into the NBA until the playoffs because I'm like, it's all a joke for 82 games. I'm actually taking Vegas over the Pet. I'm going to go all Pittsburgh this weekend. But I am pretty confident the Pens are losing to the Knights tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Matt Murray's playing tonight in Arizona. The game's in the second period. I don't know. Vegas is actually a really tough place to play. They've got all those like little gimmicky things that we all make fun of, but they're actually like pretty cool and really get the fans involved. And the Pens are just like in this weird spot right now where Rutherford's starting to make some noise, but at the end of the day, I don't think with this whole cloud hanging over them of the whole Derek Brassard thing, are they trading him or not? That tends to weigh down a team if there's going to be a break in the chemistry. And even though they've been kind of riding high lately, they've been brought back down to earth again. And even though the Metro's really tight, I don't know. There's something about Vegas and Vegas.
Okay. I know why it's so tough to play in Vegas. Because it's Vegas.
Yeah.
It's the same reason. I was just talking with somebody about this. It's the same reason they stink when they come to Florida, because if it's 10 degrees in January in Pittsburgh and there's 5 inches of snow, and you have a game in Tampa where it's 70 degrees and you go to the beach, you're really thinking about hockey? Same thing with Vegas. There's so many things to do in Vegas. It's like, oh my God, guys, we have to play a hockey game. Let's go. That's basically it. It's just the job is just like an afterthought.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, and that's the funny thing about here is like during this season, that's a good point that maybe the Lightning are riding high. I mean, they looked horrible last night, but maybe the Lightning are riding high because everybody's traveling here and they're like, oh, this is great weather. We don't give a hoot about the game. I like that theory.
Yeah. All right, Coach, what do you got?
You know what? I guess we'll start off with the NFL. Like I said on the last episode of the Donut Bag, man, this is this is the hardest week